Get your man the Flute to play song, the fuck.
The Gwitch everyone, Guinness Tashi, welcome back to the Christmas special of the Inline G Flute podcast with me, your host, motherfucking Inline G. Maybe it's the Christmas special. Got a bit excited there in the intro. Maybe it's the Christmas special. I've actually planned another episode as the Christmas special, but I don't know if it's going to be out in time or recorded in time or if it's actually going to get fucking done or not. So I don't even know when this episode is going to come out. It could come out the Friday before Christmas. I think that'd make it like the 19th, which great. If it does, this is your Christmas special. And if it comes out the 26th, sure, that's fucking Boxing Day. Or St. Stephen's Day, depending on your persuasion. But it's Boxing Day. I think you can still listen to Christmas stuff in that wee week anyway, can't you? Like that week between Christmas Day and New Year's. You can still do Christmassy things, can't you? You're fucking better. Because that's what you're going to get. I'm away for 3.5 weeks from the 18th of December until the 11th of January. I've left the admin team over at Inline G in charge, and they're a pack of fools because they're non-existent. It's just me. It's just me here. There's no one in charge. The rats are in charge of the cheese around here. But I have pre-recorded episodes for the first time in a very long time to prepare for this because I am going to be way too full of George and wine to even consider recording a podcast. But there are some built-in episodes in that time period to keep us all very entertained. And to be honest, today's episode is no exception. I'm really excited about today's episode. I'm not going to lie, though. It is being absolutely raw-dogged. I have prepared fuck all for this episode. I mean, in terms of a script, I know what I'm going to talk about, but there is zero script. I am trusting my own abilities 100% here, which, again, if history teaches anything, I shouldn't be doing that. But sure, yeah, that's all you. Now, listen, I have at the minute, I think I counted yesterday, I have over 40 students at the minute. Okay, and I know some of you are surprised to hear this, by the way. Everyone thinks I do podcasts as a full-time job. Do you think the Inline G podcast makes that much fucking money that I can sit back and retire at 33? No. I do a lot of teaching and I do a lot of gigging. And I do a lot of orchestral stuff too. Just all of that shit, I cannot be fucked talking about it. At least once a week I'm in an orchestra. Once a week minimum. I just can't be arsed talking about it. I get on, I do the promotion for Inline G, I do all my teaching, which is just constant, and then I do all my rehearsals, and then all I want to do is go on the internet and post videos of me drinking. I haven't got the energy for it, but I do teach a lot of students, and people are always surprised at this, but now I'm teaching so many students, I'm teaching 3 languages as well at the minute. Obviously English, French, and German, and I've got students of widely different levels, experience levels. I've got really advanced students in terms of like going to music college or preparing to music college, and I've got like absolute beginners. I've got adult hobbyists, I've got 4-year-olds, I've got a lot, I've got everything. And what's really interesting is some things in my teaching for the last few years keep coming up with every level, every single person experience, whatever it is. There's certain topics that keep getting revisited. I have to explain them in different levels of complexity to my students, and that's a great challenge. But the certain themes or ideas keep coming back. And also, I value my own students' feedback very highly. So if they tell me they really enjoyed something or got something out of it, I'll take that on board. So what I've done today. Look, me, I'm dying of thirst, boys. What I'm doing today is for your Christmas present from your Uncle Inline G, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for playing the flute. Really, like these are the most common 5 things I teach. And initially I was really hesitant about doing this because I thought people should be paying me for this. This is what people pay me for. I'm not that cheap as a teacher. And people pay me a lot of money for these exact 5 things. So they're all original ideas in the way I sort of present them as well. I'm very proud of them. And I always think it should be something I should charge for. And I thought, really, it's not the knowledge I'm charging for, and I shouldn't gatekeep these things. I'm not really gatekeeping, I just want to get paid for it, man. Someone's got to keep the lights on around here. But it's how I deliver it to my students that really matters. It's like exactly when to give them that information or what dosage to give them. Almost like a doctor. I have to say, oh, you need fucking 10 milligrams of scales for 2 weeks. That's the real skill, is identifying where the weak spots are and managing it. And also knowing what kind of student needs a gentle kick up the ass and which one needs an arm around the shoulder to say, nah, things are going great here. What gets them motivated, what gets them responsive. and then choosing when to drop these things in to get the best out of them. So that's what I'm essentially charging for. The actual information really isn't much use to it. And to be honest, all of this, if you go out onto YouTube and just fucking open up your ears a bit when you're listening, you'll hear it all. All the top players are doing all these things. It's not hard to find this information. But you came here, so thank you very much. So I am like a doctor for your shitty flute technique, and today you're booked in. Welcome. Also, you can actually book a lesson with me. I should say that. I don't advertise it very much on here, but I do teach online, and a lot of you guys have reached out to get individual lessons at some point, like one-off ones. Don't have a lot of slots, to be totally honest, but if you ever want to get, if you like what you hear here and you think, fuck, I want to get that directly from the horse's mouth, just send me a message. I do online lessons all the time. They work really fucking well, and they're a lot of fun. So if you want a one-off. Anyway, listen, it's not going to be a super long episode today, I hope, because I'm just going to go through these 5 things. Again, fuck all script. We are raw dogging it straight in, no kissing. But I think it's going to be wonderful. I need to burp. That Spetzies went straight to me. It's great that you can't smell things on podcasts. I'll tell you that. So I was going to say in no specific order, but that's the opposite of what I meant. There is a very much specific order of 5 to 1. So you have to hold on to number 1. Stay to the end of the video to check out number 1. Fucking rage baiting you. So anyway, number 5. Here is my number 5 tip for making your flute playing better, because I feel like a lot of people don't do this. Okay, I have done entire episodes on much more complex versions of this, but I'll give you a really basic one. You need to know a bit more about music theory. It's not something you have to do in terms of like, to pass an exam, or I just have to have this knowledge. It is so genuinely practical and useful. You need to have a basic level of music theory, and flute players for some reason are fucking useless at it. I know so many players that play to a decent level and couldn't tell you what fucking key they're in. That's a disgrace, okay? You need to get to know, because that's part of the fun and the energy and the that. I do that all the time in teaching, by the way. I don't know what it is, but I describe it that, or one of those. You know what I mean. I want to be and certain keys have a and some of them have a okay? They have their different flavor, their different color, their different they're wearing something new for the night out, you know? So that's why you need to know what key you're in. You need to know something about basic chords, and then that will also help you improvise, which we're going to talk about. So we're going to go straight away. How do you identify what key of music you're in? Crash course. Fucking 2 minutes here. Get it done. Key signature is a big help, okay? You need to go and learn your key signatures, okay? The key signature, let's say there's 1 sharp, okay? That will give you one of 2 options, generally speaking. There is 2 keys for every single key signature. So 1 sharp could be a major or its relative minor. Now, to find the relative minor of a major, you go down a third. Happy days, okay? So C major, relative minor, A minor. C major has fuck all flats and sharps. A minor has fuck all flats and sharps. So first of all, you need to be able to identify that. If you can't do it off the top of your head, go and download something on your phone, the wee circle of fist thing, or a list of what keys have them. There's only a couple of them, obviously. Favorite it and just start going back to it. The more you go back to it, or do what I do, every time you play a piece of music, just write the key at the top. You'll get used to making that connection in your brain. So if there's 1 sharp, you're going to be either major, which in 1 sharp's case is G major, or you're going to be its relative minor, which is E minor. Now, really easy way to work it out, especially as flute players, because we play the melodies. Look at the last note. If the last note is a G, there's a fucking 95% chance you're in G major. And if it's an E, there's a 95% chance you're in E minor. Now, that's not guaranteed, but it's a good starting point. Now, the main difference between the G major and the E minor for most basic melodies is in the minor version, you're going to see some more accidentals. That's it. Because you're going to have a raised 7th or potentially a raised 6th and 7th, which comes up in the minor key. So, how do you work out which accents are going to be popping up? Get your 7th. So, E. Get your fingers out here with me, lads. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. There's your number 7. We count from number 1. D. If you see a lot of D sharp, well, it's normally natural. There's only 1 sharp. If you see a lot of D sharps, you're almost certainly in E minor. That's the other way to work it out. Also, you can just tell by listening to it. Okay, major keys, generally positive emotions. So happiness, sunniness, comedy, laughing, love, all these things are major. And then minor keys reflect negative emotions. Anger, being pissed off, sadness, melancholy, blah, 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 blah. So that's it. You work out your key, fucking write it down. It's not hard to do. It takes you literally 5 seconds. You need to know what key you're in, okay? Don't be scared of things like E major, by the way, or B major. These are gorgeous keys. They're fucking gorgeous. E major is one of my favorite to play on the flute, by the way. Great. Now, next up, basic chords, okay? If you've ever played a pop song and they're going to have the chords on the top for the guitar players or whatever, it says, G or C. Here's really how it works, okay? If it just says the letter G, C, D, it's major. If it's minor, it will have a small M afterwards, 90% of the time. Now, how to work out what you can play on the chord? It's the first, the third, or the fifth. Easy. If you're looking at a C chord and your guitar is playing a C, you can play any note from the first, third, and fifth during that chord and it will sound great, okay? Basic. So your first, third, and fifth, C, skip out D, E, skip out F, G, C, E, G, 1, 3, 5. If you see C major written, play one of those three notes, you'll be grand, okay? Then if the next bar is G, you play G, B, or D. They're all grand. This is also how you really start getting basic ideas of how to improvise. Because you just look at the chords and go, right, I'm going to play one of those three in each one. And just keep doing that. Maybe start with the bass one for each one, just play the note that's written. Then start playing the thirds, then play the fifths. Then work out if you can get like funky little ways to get from one to the other. You can put in notes that don't work in those three if they're just going to the next one. Okay, so if they're just like a way to get from one chord to the other to make it a bit smoother, do that. But start with those basic ones. You should be doing that all the time. The amount of times I have had students who have played a piece and like for whatever reason they've lost the second page or the note doesn't end, and I'd say, here, just play a long note at the end to finish it, and they go, which note should I play? I'm like, well, fucking tell me. You're in D minor. What do you think? Which note do you think you're going to play? You're going to play D. All right? Or you can play, if we're playing like little duets and we don't know what to do, I'm like, well, play a note that's going to work. You're in D minor. What's going to work? D, F, or A. Basic things, guys. I promise you, you will never, ever, ever regret doing these things. So identify the key and start fucking about with your chords. 1, 3, 5. That's it. Use your fingers. That's what God gave you them for. Very important. Now, number 4. I love this one. Analyzing structure, and a thing I like to call, I'm sure this exists as a phrase anyway, but I like to say things that sounds fancy for Americans. This might get me booked in America. I'll be doing the circuit soon, but it's going to be contextual interpretation. What the fuck? Isn't that great? Contextual interpretation. Brilliant. Okay. Learning how to analyze a score quickly is so important. It's the time of year now where I am doing Christmas carols with all my students. 1, because they can't be fucked and they really don't want to play anymore. But 2, it's a secret way to work on scales and all these other things. But most importantly, analysis. Okay, so I've got all the Christmas carols. I put them in a big PDF on my iPad. I send them all to my students. Fuck copyright. I don't care. They're so well written. They're so well organized. So we take a piece like Deck the Halls. You have to work out how to structurally analyze a piece. Okay, simple melody is the best way to start. Christmas carols are amazing for this. Go pick one out and just do this. Put a structure together. Now, how do we talk about structure in music? Very simple. You have an idea, we call that A. If there's another idea, it's called B. If there's a third idea, we call it C, blah, blah, blah. So you can end up with structures like A, where it's the same idea done 3 times. It could be A, B, A. So one idea, new idea, back to the old idea, blah, blah, blah. Work out how to do this. Also notice how most music is written, especially in the classical period or neoclassical or anything that takes classical form. It's in even numbers of bars. It's usually 8-bar melodies or 16-bar melodies. Now, if I take something like Deck the Halls, let's go through the interpretation together, okay? So I'm going to tell you, there's 16 bars. There you are. You're getting that one for free. You're sitting here thinking about it, okay? I'm going to sing it quickly. Oh, should I sing it or should I play it? I'll play it for you. You should be able to work out what the structure is of this. So think of your A's and your B's and tell me what you think it is, okay? I'm going to play it quickly, and by the time it's done, you should be able to shout an answer at your at your iPhone. So, what have you got? Now, 16 bars is your clue, by the way. So, there's 4 sections. The structure of that piece is very easy. A, B, A. We'll call it A dash at the end because it's slightly modified at the end to round it up. We'll call it A dash. It's a wee bit different. So, what that means is, you got the A section, which is da da dum dum da 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 da, and then you repeat it. Then you got a B section, which is da da dum dum da da dum dum, and then the A dash da da dum dum da 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 dum dum dum. Okay, so it's a little bit different at the end, but there you are. A B A dash or A B A. Now, Christmas carols, if you're playing them on their own, they have no dynamics written. Okay, and a lot of classical music doesn't. This is where you can start to contextualize your interpretation by using the structure. So you've worked out the structure. Now, when you're trying to think of ideas of what to do with dynamics, because you should never play a piece of music anywhere, ever, at any point without dynamics. That is a sin. That is the cardinal sin. Man, it's a fucking, you're sucking the soul out of it, and not in the fun way. So you should always have dynamics. The worst case scenario is your dynamics are a bit too much. Bit too loud, bit too quiet, bit too dramatic. Now, in my opinion, or to help you along, there's two ways of doing dynamics, okay? Either you build them up gradually and make sure they follow on step by step. In that case, we're talking about maybe crescendos and decrescendos. You have to know where you're starting and where you're ending and sell the story in between. So if you're going to do a crescendo, know where it's starting, know where it's ending, and make sure it's a true crescendo. Each bit's getting louder where you want it to. Or we go for contrast. Suddenly loud, suddenly quiet. Now, if there's 3 sections in a row that are the same, common sense dictates what are you going to do with the dynamics. First place to start is either loud, quiet, quiet, or loud, or quiet, a little bit louder, loud, or loud, medium, quiet, okay? Some kind of way to play with the number 3. There's no fucking rocket science, okay? But there's not really 3 here. A, B, A. You can work this out before you even play the fucking flute on it. You can work out what you're going to do. Okay, so let's say A, B, A. We could do loud, quiet, okay? Works fine. It's very dramatic. But the only problem is here, your B section, loud, quiet, is going to be loud here. And the B section here is a little bit different, okay? And it's got a natural shape to it, a crescendo, because it's going up. It's got da da dum dum da da dum dum da 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 dum. There's a natural crescendo there. So take that as your bass and say, right, well, B section is going to have a little bit of a crescendo in it. So what can I do to sell the rest? Easy. Quiet, loud, B section crescendo, loud to finish. There you are. That means you've got quiet, loud, contrast, you've got a measured crescendo, and a big finish. That's an example. I could work out 2 or 3 options of what to do with the dynamics before I even play the flute. Then I just, like a new dress, I just go try a couple of them on and see which one makes me feel sexy. But I've decided beforehand what I'm going to try. That is contextual interpretation. Also, that 4-bar crescendo, I'm putting that in the middle because I want it to be something different to the contrasting of the A, B sections I've done before. Okay, that's contextual. It's going to have more of an impact if it's viewed within context. Now, I know this is a 16-bar piece of music that doesn't have very long to do this, but you practice it here and you apply the same principles on a bigger scale. For example, you want to play Deck the Halls 5 times. There you are. Now you have something you have to do with each time to make the 5 be contextualized. Maybe number 3 is something special about it. Number 4 is something special. These are the things that tell a story and bring you along. The larger scale that works when you come to play sonatas and stuff like this, these ideas are amazing. And once you've perfected them on simple melodies, you take them further, they are so much fun to sit and dig into a back sonata and do this. Analyze where the different parts come up. Say, well, this is the 3rd time this melody's came up, but it's going to be behind a change in tonality or a new section, so I want it to have more of an effect, so that gets stronger here. You're going to express what you want. You're going to use your techniques and use your dynamics to do that. So practice it with small melodies. Number 1 advice, go and get your Christmas tunes, okay? Go and get them. One of my favorites is We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Great way to practice crescendos, by the way. I've worked this out this week. I've got it in here somewhere. Because structure of that, there's a repeated section that comes up all the time. Obviously, da dum da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum dum da da dum 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 dum. So that little first section has 4 distinct bits to it. 3 repeated ideas and a new idea. By the way, the number 3 comes up all the fucking time in classical music and especially religious music. We know why. Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So number 3 is very important in religious music and classical music iconography in general. So when you've got 3, We Wish You a Merry Christmas kind of tells you what you want to do. It wants you to do with it because the ba 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 that happens 3 times. Each time gets higher. Just makes sense to get louder. Okay, and then the 4th one, do do dum dim dum dum. It's your decision whether you want to continue with your crescendo and make that even louder at the end, or do you want to play with contrast and turn it to subito piano, make it very quiet, a bit more fun. There's your 2 options how to interpret that. Also within that, da 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 dum dum dum, 3 repeated notes. Use them as a little mini crescendo. to get from your different crescendos. So the first 2 bars, for example, do dum do 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 dum dum dum, it's going to be piano. Then your dum 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 at the end is going to be a gentle crescendo to mezzo forte. Do dum da 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 dum dum dum. Those are going to be a little bit of a crescendo. Da dum da 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 dum dum to your forte. There you are. Now you have a bigger crescendo, small crescendo, all in fucking We Wish You a Merry Christmas. How class is that? You can go and work these things out. They are not rocket science. Number 3, contrast, dynamics, make them make sense. You can do all this before you even fucking touch the flute. You can do this by looking at it. Easy. Once you get that, make your decisions on your dynamics in context. This will apply further in future to what color do you want to use in your flute? What articulation are you going to use, vibrato or not? All that is contextualized. It's got more of an effect if you know where it lies in the overall structure. Practice it with easy stuff. You'll thank me later, okay? So go and do that. How long are we in? 20 minutes? Jesus Christ, lads. Okay. Fuck, I went on there a bit, didn't I? Technical fixes. This is one question I get asked all the fucking time. How to practice technical passages. Oh my God, there is so easy an answer to this, okay? It's so fucking simple, right? Biggest advice for practice, okay? Organize your practice, okay? If I'm doing a recital and I've got 5 pieces to play, am I sitting around all day playing all 5 pieces one time through to find out where the mistakes are? Because by the time I get to piece number 5 and the hard bit at the end, I'm fucking bollocksed. I'm knackered. Okay, so take one day of whatever you're playing, no matter how many pieces, take one day and go and figure out the tricky sections, the bars that are causing you trouble. Make a list on your phone. Just get out your fucking note app and say, piece number 1, bar 52, done. Fact-finding mission. Take an hour and do that. That's number 1, just to work out where anything could be a potential technical problem. If you can play the rest of it, don't fucking practice it. Save that for later. But if you can play it, it doesn't matter. You don't need to practice it. You really don't. You need to over-practice. Trust yourself. Practice the hard bits, okay? Because that's what's going to make your playing better. So first of all, make a list. Structure your practice. Second of all, know your battle plan against them. Have a toolbox ready. Know your battle plan before you go into your session. Because if you sit there and say, I'm going to practice bar 50 until it's better, you're going to be there a long fucking time, all right? It might not get better today. Trust the process. So a couple of different options, okay? One is different rhythms. Obviously, we all know this. You do not need me to sit here and tell you how to play with different rhythms. Make them up. Get creative. That's the point. But make a limit to them. Say, I'm going to play this 3 times each in 5 different rhythms correctly. The most important thing in all of this is speed does not matter, okay? Doesn't matter bollocks. Getting it right matters. That's more important. Trust me in this. You will save yourself so much time. So number 1 is different rhythms. Number 2, the obvious one, metronome. Okay? Stick it back to at least half tempo to what it is. Play it once. If it's good, crack the metronome up 1, play it again. If it's good, crack it up again. Get to the point where it doesn't work anymore and stop. Record it. Maybe you get the 82 out of 120 in one day, record it. The next day, go 20 behind and start from there. Maybe the next day you get the 81. Shite. Didn't do as well as yesterday. That's grand. Every time you play it right, it's money in the bank. Eventually it will go there and you can watch the progress. So record it. So yeah, if you're doing the technical thing, by the way, limit yourself to it. This is the same with the metronome. Do not keep going on, okay? If you're going to play 5 rhythms 3 times each, do just that. And no matter what the result, you're done. You've done it. Move on. That's it. Don't fucking sit all day and do it. Do the work you need to do. Move on. That is a great skill to get used to. Do not get bogged down in this shit, all right? Know what you're doing before you go in. You don't have to even write that down. Just make a decision in your head that you're doing it and stick to it. Metronome's the other one. My favorite one, by absolute far, is to play things as if it was a slow piece of music. And I do that again. Structure it. I'll say I'm going to do this section 5 times. I'm going to play it like it's a beautiful lament. You know, I think I did this once in the podcast before. When I think of technical stuff, I immediately just go to the opening bars of the E-Bar Concerto. And if I was playing the E-Bar Concerto, because of all the weird intervals and the things that aren't really commonly played on the flute, my first thing I go, do you know what? I'm going to look at this opening section, and I'm going to play it as if it's the most beautiful slow piece in the world. And I would just go, I'd do this 5 times. I would make a point of going, and I keep going. That's so much fun to do if you do it without wrong notes, because I can't remember how the start of the E-bar goes with that slow. But anyway, do that 5 times. Concentrate on having a beautiful sound and smooth fingers. Do that 5 times. Don't even think of playing it faster. Stick it away. I promise you that will work. I promise. Or your money fucking back. I guarantee. Play a technical passage 5 times. Super slow and super beautiful, as if it's a slow piece of music. Leave it. Do that for a week. Then go and test the waters and see how your fingers are catching up with it. Use a mixture of all 3. That's it. Most important thing, organize your practice. You'll be grand. Okay, number 2. My second top tip. Actually, before I do that, should I do a Patreon read? Yeah, I should. Sorry. The top 2 ones are actually fucking brilliant. My number 1 one is an original idea, and I'm so fucking proud of it. I love it. Right. Some of you have already heard me do this when you came for lessons with me. It's such a great idea. I'm so proud of it. So you'll have to fucking wait for it. Because, just quickly, also, if you're new to here, if it's your first time listening to Inline G, please do stay for this next minute, okay? Don't fuck off. I need you. But if you're an old listener, I don't mean old as in age, I mean as in you've been listening since the very start, God help you, then you know what to do here. You can fuck off for a minute or 2. Go stick the kettle on or pour yourself a gin and tonic. So, the Inline G podcast is free. And it will always be free. That is a motherfucking guarantee. However, if you wish to donate to the podcast, you can now do so through the Patreon. On the screen now is the address, and for the audio listeners, you got a burp. It is the patreon.com / the Inline G Flute podcast. Fuck me. It's in the description. Listen, lads. Christmas is coming up, so I'm going to be very frank with you. There's no sponsors in this podcast. This podcast makes money, yes, through you. It is 100% listener funded. I want to keep it that way. Sponsors approach me all the time. Can we come on? Can we do this? Can you talk about this? Can you make sure you don't swear? Can you make sure you don't talk about Israel committing a genocide? Blah, 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 nah, 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 nah. In one ear, out the other. Nah, 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 nah. They're all the same, by the way. All these major fruit companies are full of wankers, man. There's me burning bridges. But they are. They honestly are. Especially the American ones. Jesus fucking Christ. Americans have they censor fucking everything, and they're the ones why Trump is president. Anyway. So, no sponsors. None of them are coming on. Go fuck themselves. We support each other. We're supporting the podcast. Listen, be very open and honest with you. I make an episode of this podcast every fucking week. Every Friday there's been an episode out. I love doing it. One of the greatest things I've done in my life creatively. I adore this whole thing. It's a lot of fucking work. So, if you sign up to the Patreon, it's €5 a month. You're basically keeping the podcast alive. You're paying me for my work as an artist. You're not going to get any bonuses really to it. It's really just to help out and support it, and to know that you're keeping the podcast alive. And also, you're supporting an actual independent small artist. So I'm asking you, if you want to do that, or you feel like you want to do that, you're essentially giving me the price of a pint once a month. You're saying, if I saw Gareth in the pub, I've listened to 4 hours of Inline G for fucking nothing, I'll buy him a pint. Great. Happy days. Even sign up and unsubscribe straight away. You give me a one-off fee of a $5. Grand. You're keeping the podcast alive. I'm on my own around here. I do every single aspect of this podcast on my own. I adore it. I really do. But I need a bit of money, lads. Alright? It's a lot of work, and I want to get paid for my work as an artist. So, if you can afford it, it's better in my pocket. It's half the price of a Netflix subscription these days. And sure, there's fuck all on Netflix. Even Stranger Things is a pile of wank now. There's nothing there. Come and watch Inline G. Tell you what, if there's enough of you signing up, I'll make my own Stranger Things. Right? So, sign up, please, if you can afford to. It's €5 a month. It's really not much money. It's like €1.20 a week. It's like, honestly, you give homeless people more than that. It's €1.20 a week. It's nothing, all right? €1 a week, you can afford that. But if you really can't afford it, okay? I'm only talking to people who listen regularly. If you're here for one episode, don't feel pressured yet. I'm pressuring everyone else. If you really can't afford that, that's fine. Okay, you will still get the same podcast as everyone else. Nobody gets extra episodes. It is 100% free for everybody. It's a system based in kindness and soundness. Someone else is paying so that you don't have to. Thank you very much, lads. Right, phrasing. Fuck, I am thirsty. I had a massive box of supermarket sushi. I haven't felt great since, I'm not gonna lie. So, here, if you don't hear, if these episodes are coming to you from beyond the grave, you know what happened. Right, phrasing. People talk about phrasing as if it's fucking magic, as if it's some elusive thing that you have to capture. Like what's that thing Luna sees in Harry Potter? Snoggly works. Sounds like a slur. Fucking Snoggly works. Go back to your own country. Go back to Snoggly working land. But, okay, phrasing. It's so simple to get a starting point for phrasing. Let me pick any melody, right? Reinicke, Sonata, there it is in the book, right? If you want to get started with how to phrase, you have to phrase everything. You should not play a fucking note in your life without thinking, how does this belong to the rest of the phrase? Where is it going? What am I trying to say? Beyond just the composer telling me the crescendo said the crescendo. Every note you play, every single time, you should be giving it love. It deserves love. And what's the fucking point in playing your instrument if you're not giving it a bit of love? We're not here just to play notes. It's boring, man. You're making music. You're a lucky person to be able to do this to whatever level you can do it. Give it a bit of fucking welly. Invest in yourself. Invest in the music. Invest in your soul. So you have to learn basic phrasing here that you can then add on and fuck about with and manipulate in whatever way you see fit. But as the notes go up, go a bit louder. As the notes go down, go a little bit quieter. Easy as that. Do this with every melody. Start playing some small melodies. If you want any of the books I'm using here today, by the way, books or PDFs or anything, send me an email. Tell me what you want. Just don't tell anybody that I give you copyrighted books, but here, fuck them. We're not made of money. Okay, I've played the Rheinicke before in a reel for this, so I'm going to do the one below, which is the Schumann Romanze. I don't even think I know this. But it says einfach und innig, which is easy and sort of like affectionate, I don't know. So, listen to the way, this is written piano, by the way. This whole section I'm about to play, or try to play, is all written piano. But within that piano, you have to give it a bit of fucking something, man. Okay? So listen to the way, as the notes go up, I'm going to... Actually, no, I'll play it once as written. Just simple, okay? No phrasing whatsoever. Just all piano. That's actually really fucking hard to do. That's no going up and down. That's just me playing the whole thing piano. Trying hard to keep it all piano, by the way. Not easy to do. Here's me playing the same thing piano, but with a bit of phrasing. Going up with the notes, going down with them. Already, it's got a bit of sex appeal to it. It's going somewhere. It's really easy stuff, guys. The notes are going up. If there's a big giant interval, fucking crescendo up it. If there's a big giant one coming down, fucking shut up coming down it. Then you can play about with it. Then you can have a bit of fun with it and say, well, don't like this, don't like that. But do that as a basic thing and be really strict with yourself to try and do it in every note. That's it. There's basic phrasing. Done. Now you can play the fucking flute. Happy days. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is, by the way, my number one tip. I love giving this tip because I'm such a pretentious arsewipe when it comes to these things. But I'm pretentious, but I'm also educated, right? Now, I studied in Germany, as we all know, when I live here, and I played with German orchestras. I did do my master's in France, and I played in Paris, and I studied in Paris with some top players. And the French flute's good and all the ideas of it. There's so many things said about it. I've talked about it 100 times in this podcast. But there is one really basic thing that I think you only get by going to France or learning the French language, learning French culture, why French flute players play the way they do. It's so simple. We're going to use the language in this, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to do it in flute playing. The French language is gorgeous, obviously, aesthetically. Now, the reason we view it as aesthetically gorgeous as opposed to the German language is because it's so smooth and fluid. That is not an accent. The language is designed to be smooth and fluid and aesthetic. All the sounds are quite ambiguous. They're not always very clear, and you pick a lot of things up from context. German is the opposite. German is a very organized thing. You get these massive, big fucking words that are just small words put together. Like German, it's like building a car. The language is like building a car. This goes here, this goes there. Ja, you put this there, and then you get the Wissenschaft, ja? Die Gesellschaft is here, ja? And it's fucking put all in, bang, bang, bang. There you are. VW. Ja, gut. That's German. Very organized language. Fucking dog shit. I hate learning German for that reason. It's such a nightmare. French is not that, okay? Speaking the French language is like... It's like cooking a dish that you don't really know what you're doing, and it definitely involves wine. And you're at that stage where you're like, right, I'm going to put it in the oven soon. Big stew or something. I'm going to leave it in the pot. But needs a bit of something. Don't know what it is. You put a bit in there. You go, fuck, I've done too much of that. Maybe a bit of that'll help. And fuck, I've done too much of that. Have you got any of that in there? Fucking, un peu de vin, une petite carotte, un peu de piment, si un peu trop là, franchement, je m'en fous. It's just fucking getting it all in and see what happens. I love that. I'm a big man for that, right? It's also why learning the German language has been a fucking nightmare for me because I love shite talking, which is why I've got 128 episodes of a podcast that you all listen to. When you try to shite talk in German, it's impossible because if there is more than 2 verbs, so I will go walking, okay? The second verb has to go at the end of the sentence. So if you wanted to say like, I will go walking tomorrow morning with my friend at 5 a.m. You will say, ich werde, which is I will, or I'm going. And then you put all the other information in. Also ich werde morgen mit meiner Freundin 5 Uhr, blah, 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 blah. Und then right at the end, you go, laufen. You put the word in. So until the very last word, you don't know what they're talking about. They're basically saying, I will at 5 tomorrow with my best friend go. And then you go, what are you going to do? Walk. Oh, grand. Now I know what you're talking about. So they don't interrupt in German because you can't interrupt because you don't know what the fuck they're talking about until you get to the end. So they all look at you. While in French, it's the same structure as English essentially. They say, ouais, je vais faire, and they're like, on comprend. They know exactly what you're going to say after like 3 words. Like, right, that's grand. We've got enough of that. Your turn is over to speak. Great. So they don't fucking, because I love starting sentences not knowing where they're going. Most of my sentences, I haven't got a clue where they're going. In German, they all look at you like a rabbit in the headlights going, where's this going? I'm like, lads, you don't follow me. I'm lost. I don't know what's coming up at the end of the sentence. You're meant to think of this in advance. I don't do that. We just improvise. So it's much easier for me. But the French language is a beautiful thing in many ways, okay? The German language is great for many things, but this is not one of them. For flute playing, you want to go français, okay? And here's my big tip to it. Understanding this about the French language, just this one thing will change your flute playing. In French, they have a thing called liaison. You've heard that word before, dangerous liaisons. We do have the word liaison in English. Liaison is a joining or a meeting or whatever, okay? Liaison in the language, okay? My favorite example of this is something like vous, okay? So vous is the polite or plural form of you. It's spelled V-O-U-S. You don't pronounce the S, okay? Vous. If it didn't have an S and it was V-O-U, how do you pronounce it? Vous. It's the same thing. People are always like, it's so fucking French, I don't pronounce half the letters. They do. Just when they pronounce them. So vous, if the next word begins with a vowel, so it's an open sound. So let's say vous, and then the next word's going to be avez, which is you have. Avez is have in that context. Because vous ends with an open sound, oof, there's no consonant to end it. And avez starts with an open sound as well. You can't have vous avez. Okay, why? Because that sounds ugly. It's the aesthetic join between the two. There's nothing clean between it. It's too, they don't like that in French. That is where you now have to pronounce the S. So instead of vous avez, you now pronounce it vous avez. So it joins together. And that is a core principle of the French language. It must always join based on the sound and the spelling of the word. It will change. A French word will change depending on the context it's in and the word that follows it. Purely for aesthetic purposes to make sure it's always joined. Now that is beautiful. That is built into the French psyche. I don't know which came first. You know, it's that thing. Chicken and the egg. Do the French do that because that's what their culture is like? It's always about aesthetics and joining and fluidity, or the other way around. Now, we don't know, but it can help you in your flute playing with dynamics. So, if I take something like, Ravel. Okay, I've got this up. Pavane pour enfant défente. Okay, I know it's not a flute piece, but whatever. Now, I'm going to play the first 2 bars. I'm going to do it with that little bit of phrasing I talked about, where the notes go up and they come down. As they go up, I play a bit louder, and they're going to be a bit quieter. So we'll start that as our basic point. So the first 2 bars are very simple. Okay, now at the end of that phrase, I played my last note, do, and I did a little diminuendo away to nothing. Always do that in French music, or always do that in your flute playing in general. Never fucking cut the head off something. It's ugly. Liaison. The next note is a B. If you want to make it French as fuck and make that fluidity, whatever level of, you have to be so precise with this, by the way, whatever level of diminuendo you take that E away to, you then, let's say it goes to 1% sound, we'll call it. The B after it starts at 1%. It joins. It makes coherent sense with the note before you join it. Even if you breathe, whatever you diminuendo away to, you bring it up from there. If you do that, you get a French sound. That's it. Or French phrasing. It's as simple as that. It comes from the language. I'm such a fucking genius. You guys are lucky you're getting this for free. So I'll play it again with the next bar. I also did it there. Every time I stop and take a breath, make a mental note of where you've diminuended away to, or what your volume level was, and start the next phrase from that after your breath. So that one between the E and the B, that's the first breath mark. There's where I've stopped. By that level. So my B is going to start from. It makes sense. That's it. If you do that on every single bit of breathing, you get it. Another example, the entr'acte. Okay, I'll give you a flute example. The Carmen one. The first phrase, you want to phrase it going up and down to the C. It's going to the C. That's the highest note. Phrase 2. Oh, don't drop the pitch, but there's where I've taken my B flat away to. So my next B flat is going to start from there. If I do that, so I'll do it once without doing that. I'm going to start the next B flat on its own dynamic, and you hear how unsmooth it is. That's so fucking ugly. Man, that's so stinking. It sounds like a German trying to play where it's like, yeah, the next note is here, bang. No, it's French music. If you're playing Beethoven, maybe do that. Bach, do that. You're not playing that. You're playing Bizet here. Give it a bit of French love. So take the B flat away to diminuendo level. Start your next B flat at the same thing. Come out of it, okay? Same thing. Liaison. Now that here, lads, that is fucking a golden knowledge, all right? You're getting this for free. You're getting this for absolutely fucking nothing. This is one of my favorite things to teach. My students love that, especially when I can do it with the French language. My French actually is quite good. My French is fucking good, but German's not bad either, to be honest. It's the English I struggle with. Go and practice those things, lads. Have a bit of crack with them. They are the number 5 things. Again, if you want to come for a lesson, I'll give you your version of it and dedicate it exactly to what you do, because there are finer versions, that's more dramatic versions, it's like more on grander scales or in different contexts. They change a little bit, but that's your basis, okay? Take what you need from that and go have a great time. You're welcome. What a Christmas present. I've just given you my entire business model. You're making all my money now for me. Go and teach that to people and make as much money as I do. Which is fuck all. So anyway, lads, listen, I'm away. Whatever time of the month this is now, I'm not there anyway. You know this. It's all over. I'm out. I will be back in January with a fresh episode where I can talk to you about Christmas and all that time. But until then, I'm out. Send me messages. Let me know how you're getting on. If you do any of these things in your practice, send me a message on fucking Facebook or Instagram, or get my email address from my website, GarethHouston.com. Go and find out and send me a message and tell me how you got on. I would love to hear from you. I love getting your practice updates. And like, no obligation. I'm not going to charge you for a lesson or any shit like that. I just want you to send me a message and go, hey, I heard your podcast episode. I give this a lash. It worked. Amazing. I'm fucking delighted. I want to hear that this is working for you guys. Vive la flute. If you want to give me a Christmas present, would you please, I keep forgetting to ask us, please subscribe to my YouTube, because my YouTube just doesn't do well. I can't be fucked pushing it either. So go and subscribe, please. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, go give this a 5-star rating. Leave a comment if you can. Engage with the podcast. It costs you fucking nothing. All right? It really helps. I'm like 8 reviews off getting 100 on Spotify, which will hopefully shoot it up. I'm still only like 600 or something fucking subscribers on YouTube. It's nothing, okay? I need the help, lads. So if you want to do me a Christmas present, do that. Or ask your mates to do it. They don't even have to listen. Just fucking get the numbers up. Anyway, holy fuck. That's been 45 minutes. So listen, have a great Christmas, the lot of yous. Or have a great whatever you're celebrating. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, if you're celebrating, I don't know, one of the other major religions, if I give a bollocks, like what the Fenians celebrate. I'm joking, all right? Have a great holiday period. Have a wonderful time. And have a great new year. I can't wait to hear about you all. I hope 2026 is as good days as 2025 was. If 2025 is shite, fuck it. I hope 2026 is better. You deserve it. I love you all. Whoever you're listening, thank you for listening to this podcast. You're great. Have a good one. And up a Ciao, guys.